Giro Rosa continued south and headed inland for stage 7, the hilly terrain offering up plenty of opportunities for attacks, breaks and GC battles, way before the single Category 3 climb at almost 100 kilometres in.
I think it starts off a bit of a false flat, bit of a climb, and then the climb's probably not as the first stage, not as long, but a bit short, and I think it'll just be probably more of a race of attrition. If there is no breaks, it'll just naturally happen with the selection.
There's a climb, but it's pretty far from the finish still, so that makes it a bit less suitable for me because you still have to do 40k to the finish. But yeah, there are some opportunities, and if there's an opportunity, I will go for it.
Stage 6 had been a hot and hectic day in the saddle, and Stage 7 offered more of the same. Temperatures soared to 35 degrees at the start in Isernia, with riders donning cold towels and ice blocks to try to stave off the heat. After the official start, the road began to wend its way upwards almost immediately, giving a taste of the rolling course to come. By 50 kilometres in, and with all of the smaller attacks thwarted, a group of 13 managed to break free. They were a group of mixed motivations. A number of riders had been in a break on previous stages, like Alexis Ryan, Elena Cecchini, Alison Jackson, Soraya Paladin and Carmela Cipriani. But there were also race-winning fast finishers like Chloe Hoskin, Eugenia Bujak and Shayla Gutierrez. And a rider who started the day in 12th on GC, Sabrina Stultiens, 5 minutes 52 behind the race lead. The unlikely alliance soon gained a minute and then continued to plough on, bringing their advantage up to more than 3.5 minutes. If the break could maintain their advantage, Stultiens could leap all the way up to 4th on the standings, and so came the response from the peloton. With Annemiek van Vleuten's podium place under threat, she led the pack up the Category 3 climb at Monte Mileto Montefusco. Her fight back was so powerful that she had in fact created an elite chase group. She took with her the other riders that made up the top 4 in the race: Anna van der Breggen, Elisa Longo-Borghini and Megan Guarnier. And Women's World Tour leader Kasia Niewiadoma. The Ciclamino jersey crested the mountain first, but soon discovered that she hadn't managed to lose any of her closest rivals. Up at the front, the group pushed on. Silance's Rosella Ratto and Canyon SRAM's Cecchini kept the pace high to set up their teammates, the only teams with more than one at the head. Hosking had been dropped from an earlier climb, leaving Ale Cipollini teammate Paladin on her own. The GC riders weren't the only ones looking to bring the peloton all back together before the end. Astana sent their riders to the front, sensing a chance for Arlenis Sierra as both a superstar sprinter and rider in the GC top 10. The chasers now numbering in their 40s, their deficit to the front tumbling. The pack were gaining second by second. The break crossed the 3 kilometres to go gantry less than a minute ahead. Team Sunweb were now also working to bring the 12 back, despite Stultiens being among them, an effort to help Corinne Rivera to go one better than her 2 podiums this week. Ratto and Cecchini continued to collude though, giving the break no time to hesitate. The same couldn't be said of the chase. Teams began to look at each other and they began to falter. Only 1 kilometre left then, and 30 seconds the gap. Cipriani was the first to try her luck. Cecchini, though, was straight on her wheel. Ratto, who spent so long at the front, dropped back through the group and gave herself a few metres. She built her momentum, gathering speed to rejoin teammate Gutierrez. Then, with a look by the Spanish champion, a surprise lead-out got the jump on the others. Cecchini couldn't hold on to the acceleration. Bujak initially matched the Silence pair. They rounded the final corner with Gutierrez and Jackson in front. But the Canadians' wide move gave Paladin a chance to come through. Gutierrez held them all off, though, to claim her first Women's World Tour win in storming fashion. A perfectly executed plan by Silence. Paladin and Bujak took their first ever Giro Rosa podiums in 2nd and 3rd respectively. And van der Breggen maintains her race lead after finishing with the main GC contenders 47 seconds down.
The first part of the race was really speedy, and then also a really main road, so it was difficult. Then with many attacks we could go, and the final was really tight, but fortunately We have some teammates who work hard in front, and we could reach the final. I'm really happy and still dreaming, I think.
I had a really hard time today, already from the beginning on, and with the heat, and on the climb I was far away, dropped, but in the end we came back and we had to ride for the sprint, so for Corinne, but it didn't work out. We didn't catch them, but it was a hard day. Yeah.
The break covered the rest of the top 10 finishers, with Americans Ryan and Lauren Hull taking 4th and 5th. The only move in the GC rankings came from Stoltians of Team Sunweb, who now enters the GC top 10. After the race had finished, news began to come through that Valcar rider Claudia Creti had suffered a serious accident during the race. She is currently in a critical condition in hospital. Our thoughts are with her and her family.